Hey, 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 what do you say? It's the Swypit Show right here on the Success Network. And of course, I'm your host, Kevin Hodis, President and CEO of Swypit, baby. And of course, we're a nationwide merchant service provider helping clients for the past, well, I've been in this business for 25 years. I've been the owner and CEO, president, whatever you want to call me, chief bottle washer, toilet bowl cleaner of Swypit since 2000. Wow, that's a long time. And of course we're been helping clients forever. We have thousands of them all over the country processing billions of dollars. And you don't get your clients staying with you for 10, 15, 20 years if you weren't doing the things right by them. But of course, I would love you to, wherever that is, liking, sharing, telling others. You might run into somebody that is a friend of yours that says, "Man, I hate my credit card processing fees," or "I can't get this," or "I can't get this." Well, we're the concierge of credit card processing, and we will help your clients. I'm right here in beautiful Frisco, Texas. Of course, Frisco, one of the fastest growing communities in the country. And I moved here and still live in the same $178,000 house I bought almost 20 years ago. And I love this place. It's central to the whole United States. So, depending upon your type of business or how you do things, we are central in the DFW area. You jump on a plane, we fly to California, or we jump on a plane and fly to New York or the East Coast or middle, wherever, depending on the size of your business. We're going to help you out. We're not going to leave you high and dry. We take care of many franchises and small business owners and big business owners, multi-million dollar organizations, whatever it is that you do in your business. We have no specific industry. Let me repeat that. We have no specific industry that we cater to. A lot of people know that I'm a former chef. Well, chef, always a chef, but I don't really cook in the food industry anymore. I don't work in the food industry. And a lot of people think that, oh, you must have tons of restaurants. Nope. Don't have a lot of restaurants. Not that I don't want them. I just don't have a lot of restaurants. We don't have a lot of one particular type of business. We're just catering to whoever processes credit cards. And of course, we've got today's show, and today's show's topic is how and why you should maybe upgrade, what you're looking for in upgrades. When is it time to upgrade? Well, let's talk about one of the first credit card terminals that I ever had the opportunity to be offering clients. And that is one of my favorites right here. My God, look at the size of this thing, right? It's a big device. It was one of my favorites. It's called the Nurit, Nurit. Nurit is how you say it. Nurit 2085. They had this device out. Let's see, it was late 1990s is when this first came out, and it's made by a company called Lipman, which was in um, Israel. And then this company was purchased by Verifone many years later. But of course, this thing is a workhorse. I mean, this thing, somebody was just using this terminal still a few years ago. Of course, when we upgraded them, I had to keep it because it's the only one I have. And it's like it looks brand new. It's crazy. Here's the problem with this machine, and the reason why you can't use it anymore. The reason you can't use it anymore, it's analog. So there's no place to put an internet cable. So today everything is high speed. And if you were to use this with a regular phone line today, not many phone lines are on the POTS line. What the POTS line is the old analog style of phones, like when pick up the phone and it was, remember the old party lines they used to have? That's what a POTS line is. Everything's digital now. So this has a modem, and every credit card machine has a modem. And when it transmits the data over the internet, it's sending it in a what, 28.8 or 14,400 or 28.8. And you remember the old AOL days when you would you know, you would let it, you would go to log in to your email and it would take like 5 minutes because you know, we're waiting for it to connect, disconnect, connect, disconnect, trying to find the right way. Well, this credit card machine really wasn't much different. But what it would do on today's network, on these high speed networks, is it only transmits at a certain speed, but it sends it back blazing fast. And the computer in this system is like the Apollo, you know, it doesn't have the information and the contact information to communicate in a way that it going fast, right? You know, when I say the Apollo, I'm talking about when people went to the moon, you know. I think the technology in our phones, just our cell phones, is more, there's more technology packed in this phone than there is in the all the technology just to get to the moon back in the late whenever that was, when Kennedy was trying to get people to the moon. But this machine, I really, I wish that there was something similar to this. I really love this company. I mean, it's an amazing device. They did come out with a new terminal. This is the 2085. They came out with an 8320, which was the first rendition of this device. And basically, it was about, just imagine this, half the size, and it would be connected to the internet. And it was a nightmare to get that thing to work, though. It was a problem. I put it in one of our, let's see, that was it was a New York style deli in the DFW area that we put it in. We had three of them there, and they weren't inexpensive to get. And then once you had your internet, and then there's troubleshooting, a lot of different things that really had to be done to get it to work. But the new E25, man, that thing was a workhorse. It stayed around for a lot. If you ever see somebody with this terminal, it's probably a good idea. You might want to mention to them they need to get it upgraded because they need to really take part in some of the new technology that's out there. So the new REIT 2085, awesome terminal, great device. Time to upgrade on that one. Then we went to this little device here. This is a Equinox machine, and it was manufactured by a company called Hypercom. So it was the Hypercom Optimum T4220, and it was the upgraded best device for internet. So this one here does have an internet cable. It says it right here, net, and you can still connect it to a phone line. And when you connect it to the phone line, what happened with this device is if it didn't see internet or it had a problem, it would automatically go to the backup phone line, but it still was not working very fast. The modem was still kind of slow, so it still had a lot of the similar problems of still working with this type of thing. So the even though the modem was good and whatever technology was evolving, this was really a good workhorse, and it was the best device that we moved everybody from the 8320, the Lipman 8320, or the Nurit N8320. I can't remember the names of them half the time, but this device here became a really good workhorse. The problem with this one, screen was so small. Look how small that is. I mean, look at the characters. If you were able to actually see that on it was kind of small. And then when it printed out, it didn't have the best like printing, so you still was kind of small, but a workhorse. This keypad was really good. Never had a problem with the keypads with this, but the modem would die on these. So we replaced these, and used to keep a ton of these in stock. A lot of fun with that, but it was definitely a smaller space, right? And that 8320 was very similar to this. It was probably one of the first designs of what we call a clamshell, so it was easy to just load the paper in and often running. A lot of people used to call us up and say, "Hey, the printer is broken on these. This is thermal paper only, and it has a thermal reader." Well, I would just tell them to take the paper out, turn it over, plug it back in, and then it would work because the thermal paper only prints on one side. Would you believe I actually had that problem yesterday with one of our other clients? They said the printer's broken, got to send out something, and I go, let's do a little troubleshooting first. Pull out the paper, turn it over, put it back in. Bingo, working right there, right? So sometimes you're hurry and you're trying to get things done quickly, and it happens. But then here's a good one for you too. Look at this thing. So I work with many processors, and this is a First Data device. And First Data had this FD130s, FD150s, and then you'd get this pin pad with it, and you know, it takes up a lot of space. It was a little bigger. It was a workhorse. It works good. The screen was a little bigger, right? The screens were getting bigger, and they used that clamshell type of drop it in, close it up. These are great if you're an automotive shop and you want to take fleet cards. This is the device. If you want fleet cards, this goes on what's called bypass. Bypass is owned by First Data, and we can speed up your process for all of your um, credit card processing needs. This is a really good terminal, but it doesn't like heat. So if you're literally taking your device out into the heat, maybe your car wash and it goes out there, this does not like heat. And I've had some car wash owners that would call me up and say, "Hey, the screen's broken, can't see it." And I would say, "You're going to have to take it in and let it sit for a couple minutes because it just doesn't like the heat." A lot of devices, you may have, I don't know if you know this or not, but if you were to, let's just take um, your PlayStation or your Xbox or even your phone. If you took your looked at the specs of your phone, most devices that are electronics will have a setting, not a setting, if you pull out the book, that book, everything comes with a book that has this fine print on it. And you're like, what is this about? Well, in some of those places, you'll see that there's an operating temperatures of the extreme of negative Celsius. Maybe they'll go to, negative 10 degrees, and they'll go to maybe a high of 110 degrees or whatever it may be. I know that when my phone is in my car and it's directly getting hit with the sun and the top is down, if you have a convertible and it's just beating on it, it can maybe give it some grief and some problems. Same with credit card machines. It's electronics. People forget that sometimes the heat beating down on it is going to cause you some issues and some problems. I don't know if you have questions about credit card processing and or devices. You can always contact us at Swypit to we'll answer some questions. When is it time to upgrade? When is it good to make a change to your new merchant service provider? Of course, we're just here. Referrals are great. We're here to help you. We're here to give you all the tools that you need to be as profitable as you can be. We don't make a lot of money on the processing side. It's all volume. We're going to give you the best rates we can give you so that you can be as profitable as you can be. We have supplied all of these credit card machines to merchants for years. And what we do like, we still have our very first client that we ever wrote. He had one of these. Then we moved him to this one. And then we moved him to this one right here. And we had the VX520 with a VX805 pin pad. And this is a workhorse. I mean, this thing is great. Verifone is amazing manufacturer of devices. I prefer to have Verifone devices in our merchants because we cover the cost for this device. And if they have two, three, four, five stations, all of this costs us a lot of money. But what we want to do is make sure that you have the device that's going to be working most of the time, right? If it dies, we'll come and replace it at no cost. When it's time to upgrade them, we show up and we upgrade them. This is a workhorse. This is another great client that we had, and it was time to upgrade to the latest, greatest, which I'm going to show you next. But man, these things were amazing, and they're still out there. We can still put these in places, and we use them for a multi-merchant capability. If you're, say, a hair salon and you've got 10, 15, 20 people working in it, we can put multiple merchant accounts in this one terminal. And then we have stands for these that are swivels and all kinds of stuff. But we're basically moving away from this, and it's a great device. I love it, but it's time to upgrade. It's time to move to the latest technology. And I'm going to show you. that this is the latest technology. It really has amazing features. These devices I've shown you over here started with analog phone lines, and then they graduated to having the internet capabilities, and you had to plug it in, and so you have all these cables. You had a phone line, you had a internet cable, you had the power. Well, check this out. This is the latest greatest in credit card machines, and this device right here is the same exact screen as an iPhone. So this is Gorilla Glass that's on here. There's a protective cover that we keep on here. Sometimes you'll have to peel it off, but it still has that really good Gorilla Glass. But just like your cell phone, you always want to have some sort of cover on it. But this is touchscreen now. Here's the beautiful part about it. It's Wi-Fi. So now all you have is a plug. That's it. You plug this thing in, and on the back of this, you can plug in a internet cable, or you can just connect it to Wi-Fi, and then you're one less cable. People always go, "Oh, my Wi-Fi is not that good." Well, really, your internet's not so good. It's not your Wi-Fi. If your Wi-Fi isn't that good and your internet goes down, here's really cool. The power is still on your particular business, right? This will tether to your mobile phone. You are now not without credit card processing. This is, except for the power cable, as long as you got power, you can tether this to this. This is awesome. I love it. This is state of the art stuff. We've been placing them. We got hundreds and hundreds of these all over the country, and we have been putting these everywhere. And I am upgrading. Around the corner from my desk right here is an upgrade that we're going to be doing for somebody. And let me tell you, they don't even know we're coming. I'm just going to swap it out. And I have people, they show up, they're like, "Oh, I don't want you to take us away from us, Kevin. This thing has been awesome. We don't want it." Well, I go back 2 weeks after to check on them and see how they're doing, or call them all over the country, and I go, "So how do you like the new terminal?" And they go, "That thing is amazing. The things that it does is incredible." I said, "Well, you didn't really want to move from this, so do you want us to switch you back?" He goes, "Hell no, keep that thing. We want the new stuff." Here's what's beautiful about the new stuff. This does end to end encryption. This submits the information through the network in a way that no one can steal the information, or at least they haven't figured it out yet. But it's pretty hard to do. So when you actually tap a card, it follows the same rules as you are chipping a card. And so this, when you chip it and you tap it, it sends the information in an encrypted way that people have no way of gathering that information. Now, when you use the analog phone style, it's just going over the phone line and it's totally open. So it's time to upgrade to the latest, greatest piece of equipment. This is this is a device that costs us quite a bit of money, but we will give it to you for free. We're not charging for this device if you have a credit card machine. We'll swap it out. And I know there's other ways to do credit card process. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But I really, really like this one. And if you have a retail environment, I have contracted with a company that created, as you can see, this little device. And it just goes right onto your, I'll show you over here. It goes on your counter. I'm gonna move it over here so you can see it. So, and it swivels. So the customer, what happens is you take the card, you stick it in, you tap it, whatever, you punch in the amount, you turn it towards the customer, they enter their PIN, and then you take it back, take out the card, give it to them, off and running. This little device here cost me money to be able to hold this in place. It really works really well, but we want to make your life easy. That's what happens when you work with professionals at Swypit. We make your life easy. So this device here, this device here, we provide at no cost. The stand, the terminal, that's what you want to use. We're going to give you the latest, greatest equipment. If you're one of our current clients and we haven't swapped it out, believe me, we're getting to you. But we're going to make sure you get the latest, greatest in equipment, because we're trying to reduce fraud. And what you don't realize is there's fraud all around us. There are people that have fake credentials, trying to set up fake credit card processing merchant accounts, and they contact us, and we figured out exactly who they are, what they're doing, and it's not going to get through, and they're not going to get a merchant account. But if they did work with someone else and they got a merchant account set up, and all they're doing is hand keying you and I's credit card stuff, that's doing fraud, right? And we don't want that. But working with Swypit, free equipment. Now, let's just say maybe you're a mobile unit device guy. Maybe you've got a couple of trucks that are driving around looking at different things, and of course, you know, you've got an app on your mobile device, and you can tether this little device here to your phone. It's Bluetooth. It's really cool. It works really well. We've been giving these to our clients for many years, and they're great. We've started to kind of upgrade from the technology. And that technology, I mean, this thing really does work really good. It's called a B200 device. And what it does, it's very small, and it comes with a little lanyard that you can put on here. But look how small this is. Put it in your pocket. And we still offer them, still give them to clients. They cost us a couple of bucks. I say a couple of bucks. They cost some money. And of course, these devices need to be powered. So you get a whole bunch of power on them. You could do probably like 600 swipes, chips, whatever you're doing. And it'll tether Bluetooth to your phone. You're out, pull it out of your pocket, take the card, do the transaction, takes a couple minutes. The the device is really good. It has its drawbacks and things in that nature, but we still offer it, still love the product, and we support it, and it's a good thing. Well, I'm going to show you the latest, greatest device on the planet that will trump this all day long. Which is this is still a product we offer, but this is the so this is an 80. This is a T650 by Verifone, and this is a obviously powered in your location retail environment. This is the T650P as in Paul, which is a when you press the little power button, you little swipe up and you've got your screen here. So what's great about this one is it doesn't need power, as you can see. It's a battery and it'll last for a couple of days. So if you're out at a convention and you're taking credit cards, this is literally the machine to have. Because a lot of times what happens at your convention or wherever you are trying to take credit cards out in the field, there's no Wi-Fi. And this will do Wi-Fi, and it will connect to 4G network through AT&T for a small fee per month. But if you just don't want to have the AT&T 4G, which quite honestly I suggest not to get, I suggest just tethering it to your phone. And as long as you're close by with your phone, you'll always have the ability to accept payments. And it chips cards, it taps cards, and you can swipe cards. I don't recommend swiping cards anymore. You should never swipe a credit card, ever, unless there's no chip on that card, which is very rare nowadays. But this one, as you can see, is you just type in the number, you press here, and it's going to pop up. You hear that little ding, and now it wants you to insert the card or tap it. And like I'm going to show you here. Look, it pops right up. This is my Apple Pay, and it's going to say, Face ID, and then it would then decline or approve the card. But this is the latest, greatest in devices. This thing is super fast. It is unbelievable. I can get these are actually a little less money right now than these devices, which doesn't make a whole bunch of sense. But if you were a mobile business and you needed this type of machine, we're going to provide it for you. You're a retail and you're using credit card machines because your point of sale provider costs you too much money, which is the case. Your point of sale provider says, "Oh, you have to use our preferred vendor." As I've stated in other shows, 40% more in fees is what they charge you. Well, you get a credit card machine like this, we put it there, And what's it take an extra second to do the point of sale, where you say, there it is, instead of using their credit card processor, use us. Still use your point of sale. Everything is great, saving money, making you more profitable, latest, greatest technology. Most point of sale providers now are making you buy some sort of reader or some sort of device like this that will attach to your point of sale. Um, while these are great, these are not a very good device anymore. They are getting old. The technology is not there. And they're going to make you purchase this item for 500 bucks or $700 or $1,000, whatever it is. And then when it dies, your whole system is down. That's the problem with using some sort of merchant service provider that doesn't have an all in one solution. And I'm going to tell you, we have an all in one solution. And let's just say you wanted to have a point of sale system. Well, check this out. This is a device that is made by Clover. You can call up Clover. You can talk to Clover. You can get all the information you want about Clover. This is a full point of sale right here, and it comes and can be put on a swivel. And we provide this device right here. We will provide at no cost for you. If you want to have a full point of sale, it's very small, it's compact, small space. We'll provide this one device for you at no cost. Now, let's say you have more need and you want a big screen or something like that. Well, here is the full Clover device. And then what happens, you have this. Let me take a break for a second. You ready? I'm going to grab a little coffee. My throat's getting a little dry. Been talking a lot here, right? This is a full point of sale that we provide for you at 25% off. So I don't care what price you find it at, we will give you 25% off. Everybody pays the same. And the difference that we have with this is we're going to give you incredible pricing, because even if you go onto the website for this device, this company, they're just the company. They're just going to sign you up and they're not going to give you the service that you need. They you can get service, you can call the 800 numbers, but we're going to assist, we're going to point you in the right direction. And in most cases, people complain about service for their point of sale. We want to take that out of the puzzle and make your life a little easier. But I will tell you, this device here, it does have the new latest greatest ones have a little biometric thing here that you would touch up over here. And but if you want this device, it comes with this in the front. So this you would basically have at your location like this, and then this would be in the front where you would then have the customer, they would put their card in, they'd see their information, and they'd be, tapping whatever. You've seen these around. You just maybe didn't think it was something that you wanted to do, or you thought it was too expensive. Well, for you and fans and people that want to work with Swypit, we're going to give that device for you 25% off. And it's going to come with the full point of sale system. If you have items that you want to load in there, you'll get those to us. We'll give it to the manufacturer. They'll load it all in there. We will get our staff, those people on the phone. They'll teach you how to change the pricing. And then once it's all set up, you now have a full point of sale. You got it at 25% off. And now you can go in and have gift cards. So now you can, like, social media, use that to get gift cards out to people that you know. There's all these different ways to use many different devices. And we really do love what we do. And we're always looking for the latest and best technology. But because we give such deep discounts and we give our equipment at no cost to people, like this, like this, do you think we're going to give you something that's going to give you grief? Do you think we're going to give you something that's going to give you an incredible amount of problems and broken? Heck no. If we're paying for it ourselves, giving it to you, That means it's a workhorse. We're going to give you things that are going to be working and that you're not going to have problems with. Now, granted, technology, we have your own cell phone doesn't work half the time, right? But it's not necessarily the cell phone. It maybe is the connection, the communication. All of these devices that I've shown you, the biggest thing that we have in our industry is communication issues. But as technology evolves, there's different things that come into play that make life easier. Tethering items to your phone, communication. This machine here also works Wi-Fi. When you all you do is it comes literally programmed out of the box. They have a ton of apps in the background that will connect to QuickBooks and make your life so much easier. It will do so many different functionalities. If you have a restaurant, it'll do kitchen printer. It'll have a automatically if you need one at the appetizer station, you need one at the fry station, you need it at the salad station. It'll have all of those and it'll automatically know based upon the order that's being taken. Little more involved setting that up, a lot of work, but we have people that will assist with that process. And we're always looking to take and give you all of the equipment that you need, not what you don't need. We're not going to sign you up with a merchant service provider organization that we have access to that's going to make anything more difficult for you. We're going to find the right resource. So let's go back. All right. You got one of these? It's time to upgrade. You got one of these? It's time to upgrade. What are we going to upgrade you to? We're going to get you one of these. You don't need to stand, don't want to stand. We won't send it to you. It saves us money. But in most cases, the stand is going to be great. Ready to do some, obviously, some sort of traveling, conventions, credit cards? This is the device for you. Tethers right to your phone. You know, when you're at a convention, they always charge you a bunch of money, $100, $50, $75, whatever it is per day. I don't know. It's a lot of money to pay for their Wi-Fi, right? No more. Don't need to do it. Even this device here. Yes, I did say I would provide this. We'll provide this to you. This is Wi-Fi. It'll tether to your phone. Your internet goes down. As long as you got power, you're good to go. Take it with you. Full point of sale right here. We'll help you. And then if you want a bigger system with a little touch screen, you know, your hey, how can I help you? La, la, la. This is a good device. 25% off. We're gonna give you this stuff. We don't want to make a whole bunch of money. We're on devices. It's not what we do. I don't want to sell anyone anything that's going to be causing them more grief to run their business. If we can give it at a discount, I'm giving it a discount. Keep in mind, if we're giving something 25% off, we're actually still having to pay full retail for that device. It's literally the credit card machines, we have to pay for them. We just give them to you. The point of sale system, it's 25% off, a full point of sale. Why is it 25% off? Because I want to make sure that you realize that we're not here to make money on point of sale. We're here to make sure that you're as profitable as you can be. And that's what it's like to work with credit card processing in Swypit. Swypit has been around for a number of years. We've got locations of merchants all over the country. Name a state, we probably have a merchant there. And we love what we do. We want to help you. We're Swypit. Hey, guess what? It's time to wrap up the show. Remember to like, maybe share, maybe get others that you know using. Maybe you don't want to use us, you have questions, and you just want to talk to us. Give us a ring, 877-379-9748. We're just here to be a resource to help you be more profitable. And of course, this is Kevin with Swypit on the Success Network. Of course, remember to do what you want when you want.